the picture of your life in the context of time. I'm hoping we're going to have another interesting session together tonight. For those of us that are able to join early, we're going to continue from where we stopped last week. But this time around, we are doing a critical analysis of our lives. A critical analysis of our lives. The picture of your life in the context of time. The objective of tonight's session is for us to be able to reevaluate our lives again and look at our time. What exactly do you use your time for? What is it that takes away your life, your time? And how valuable and important is that thing to you? The picture of your life in the context of time. It's very interesting to know it's interesting that many know about the scale of preference in economics, but never apply it to their lives. Even at the level of PhD and professor in this field, a number of them are guilty of this. They don't apply it to their own life. The fact that you have limited resources in life should make you to have a scale of preference. Many live as if they have all the time in the world, despite the fact that they have just about maybe 70 or 80 or 90 years to live on this earth. So limited time, limited resources of time at our hand is what should make it very imperative for you to have a scale of preference that guides the activity of your life. Because you don't have time for everything. You don't have time for everything. Because you don't have time for everything, you really cannot afford to waste time. So in economics, we discuss the scale of preference. But in life, we refuse to discuss the scale of preference applying to our life and our time. This concept of scale of preference says that because human needs are insatiable and resources are limited, hence the need to have a scale of preference. In fact, you remember the definition of economics as a social science that study human behavior and has a relationship between end and scarce and means which have alternative uses. Because the means are scarce, our needs and wants are insatiable, hence the need to have a scale of preference. But like I said, even professors are not applying this in their lives, sadly. They are not applying this in their lives. Even though they are professor of economics. Even though they are professor of economics. Even though they are professor of economics. It's interesting, actually. But you know what? That is the reality that confronts us right now. Someone study a course, but he's not applying it in his life. So he's only teaching it in theory. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't apply scale of preference, you know what will happen? You're going to waste your time and your life doing things that really does not matter. And you're living as if you have all the time in the world. And you know, you don't have all the time in the world. You don't have all the time in the world. You don't have all the time in the world. If you do not have a scale of preference in life, trivialities will take over your life. If you don't have a scale of preference in life, triviality will take over your life. If you don't have a scale of preference in life, triviality will take over your life. That is why people waste their time watching film, footballs, movies, entertainment, religious activity that add no value to them and their God-given destiny, because they don't have scale of preference. Because they don't have scale of preference. If you don't take steps on what we are discussing today by taking an inventory of your life to discover your purpose and give it priority, then you will end up as a regular person, just among the number, and of course be a failure in life. Imagine a woman who is to go to the market. She has 10,000 to buy the stuff she needs for the home. She has a list of items that will cost 25,000. She has a list of items that will cost 25,000. But she has 10,000. That woman cannot get to the market and just buying everything she sees or everything on her list. You know what will happen? The woman will have to prioritize in order to spend the little resources that she has in buying the things that are important to her. She will need to prioritize. Why? The resources she has are limited. The resources she has are limited. She will need to prioritize. If she fails to prioritize, she won't be able to maximize that little money she has. You know why we live our life the way we live our life? We can't see the limited time we have vis-a-vis many things we need to do. That's why people waste time. That's why people waste time. Do you know the world system of education, entertainment, religion, job, and social media are designed to waste your time, are designed to get you busy doing nothing. Let's do some calculation. 1 year of your life equal to 8,760 hours. In 1 year, 8,760 hours in 1 year. This is what God gives everyone in terms of time every year. In terms of time, This is what God gives every one of us every year. In times of time, this is what God gives every one of us every year. In terms of time. So we have 8,760 hours. Imagine that this equal to $1. Imagine that this is equal to $1. So that means God credits everybody the sum of $8,760 every year. Remember, in a year we have 8,760 hours. Imagine that 1 hour equals to $1. God gives us this time equally every year for everyone. He gives us this time equally every year for everyone. Every year for everyone. Equally. God gives us this time equally. So if 1 year equals to 8,760 hours, if you convert that to dollar, imagine 1 hour equals to $1. That means God credits your account with $8,760 a year. So that means every day you have $24. Every day you have $24. Let's assume that this money will disappear daily if you don't use it. This money will disappear daily if you don't use it. So if the money is credited into your account, you don't use it, it disappears. Credited into your account, you don't use it, it disappears. Now, out of the $8,760, averagely, we sleep for 8 hours on the average. You sleep by 10 and wake up by 6, that's 8 hours. On the average. On the average. That means I am spending 2,920 hours to sleep in a year. If I spend 2,920 hours to sleep in a year, how much do I have left for the year? 5,840 hours. 5,840 hours. $5,840 hours. If I have a job and my job take away from me 8 hours every day, 9 to 5 or 8 to 4, my job take from me 8 hours every day. That's another 1/3 of the day. Another 1/3 of the day. With this additional 1/3, I am using 2,920 hours, spending that on the job in a year. Spending that on the job in a year. Remember, a year, 8,760 hours. I spend 1/3 sleeping, 2,920 hours. I have 5,820 hours left. I spend 2,920 hours, another 1/3 to earn a salary. Remember the goal of salary? Not necessarily that you are fulfilling your calling, but just for survival. So that means 2/3 of the whole year is gone. 2/3 is gone. 2/3 of the year is gone. And this 2/3, I'm not using to contribute anything to my purpose of existence. I'm just earning a living to pay bills. At the same time, I'm sleeping. 2/3 of the year is gone. So you are left with the remaining 1/3, another 2,920 hours. Another 2,920 hours. This means that you have spent 2/3 of your life in a year sleeping and going for a job. Sleeping and going for a job. You were sent to this world to come and do a definite assignment, but 2/3 has been spent on doing things that is not in line as much as they are necessary, not in line with why you are here, in as much as they are necessary. In as much as they are necessary. They are not in line with the reason why you are here, in as much as they are necessary. So, if you are 30 years right now, you will have spent at least 20 years going to school, because if you don't have a job, you go to school, and sleeping. The remaining time, do you know what we use the remaining time for? Eating, getting ready to go out, religious activity, social media, transportation. Eating, getting ready to go out, religious activity, entertainment or social media, and transportation. Let's do another analysis. Remember, we are painting a picture of our life in the context of time. And we are using 1 year for example. Trying to paint a picture of how we use our year is just March. And it's good this is coming at this time. So we can begin to make necessary adjustments for the rest of the year. So let's assume you eat 3 times a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner in a day. And each of them will cost you 20 minutes to eat. I'm not including the time for cooking. If I include the time for cooking, it will be more than that. I'm just being conservative. 20 minutes breakfast, 20 minutes lunch, 20 minutes dinner if you eat 3 times. How long is that? 1 hour. So that means I spend 1 hour every day to eat. That is 365 hours in a year just for eating. 365 hours in a year just for eating. How about waking up, dressing up, going to the toilet, brushing your teeth, having your bath, dressing up to go out? An average person spend about 1 hour. From the time you wake up, probably pray, go to the convenience, eat yourself, have your bath, dress up, about 1 hour. That's another 365 hours getting ready to go out. Every year, you spend 365 hours just getting ready to go out. Every year. Again, if you spend 1 hour socializing on the phone, on the internet, watching TV, social media, and you know for some of us, it's more than 1 hour in a day. But like I said, I'm very conservative. That's why I'm assuming just 1 hour. Very, very conservative. That's why I'm assuming 1 hour. And in assuming that 1 hour in a day, the time you spend browsing on social media, the time you spend watching TV, the time you spend on phone, 1 hour a day. That is another 365 hours in a year. 365 hours in a year. 365 hours in a year. Just to relax. Remember what you have left after removing 2,920 hours of sleep, 2,920 hours of working, going to job or going to school. What you have left as 1/3 in a year is 2,920 hours. Out of these 2,920 hours you have left, out of these 2,120 hours you have left, you have spent 365 hours eating in a year. You have spent 365 hours getting ready to go out in a year. You have spent another 365 hours socializing, relaxing on the internet, movie, TV. Then you spend another 1 hour a day on religious activities. For example, let's assume you go to church 3 times a week or 2 times a week. Maybe 3 hours on midweek service and 4 hours on Sunday. That's 7 hours. If you go 3 hours a week, if you go 3 times a week, 2 hours, maybe on Tuesday, 2 hours on Thursday, maybe another 3 hours on Sunday. That's 7 hours. So averagely, you spend on religious activity, some of which are really not productive. Not all, but some of them are not productive. When you finish, you really don't get anything serious from that religious activity. You can't point attention to what you really get from it. All the same. All the same. You spend 7 hours. That's averagely 1 hour a day. Another 365 hours on religious activity. Another 365 hours on religious activity. Remember, we are sent here for a reason and for a season. All that I've counted are not the reason why we are sent here. All that I've counted. You have a reason why you are called by God, why you were sent here. All that I've counted so far is not part of it. Then, if you are in Lagos, you know that what I'm about to say is a very serious, being conservative. Being conservative. Being conservative. Very serious. You spend 1 hour on transport to work every day. That's not true. But like I said, I'm very conservative. Let's assume you spend 1 hour going to work and coming back every day, just 1 hour. Some of us spend 2 hours, some spend 3 hours, some spend 4 hours going and coming every day. But I said, let's be conservative. 1 hour. With 1 hour every day, that's 365 hours moving from one place to the other in a year. 365 hours. 365 hours. So let's do a calculation. 365 for eating, 365 hours for getting ready to go out, 365 hours for socializing online, 365 hours for religious activity, 365 hours for commuting. If you add all that together, you will have 1,825 hours. 1,825 hours. 1,825 hours. Remember, how much do we have left? 2,920. 2,920. 2,920. If you deduct 1,825 hours from the remaining 1/3 you have in the year, which is 2,920, what is left? 1,095 hours. 1,095 hours. 1,095 hours. Remember our assumption. Our assumption. The assumption of if 1 hour is $10, if 1 hour is $10, not $1, $10, and you have 8,670 hours a day, if God credited you with 8,760 hours a year, if 1 hour is $10, that would be $87,600 a year. That means $29,000 was wasted sleeping. Another $29,000 was wasted on the job. Out of the remaining 18,250, you have spent about 10,950. Now, this basically shows you how much you are losing. So that means you have lost, out of the $87,600 you have in a year, you have lost almost all of them. What is left is 10,950. Remember, what you have left is 1,095 hours. If 1 hour equals to $10, 10,950. Remember, some times ago, I told you to calculate how much you are worth per hour. I don't know if you remember. To calculate how much you are worth per hour. To calculate how much you are worth per hour. Wow. And then you simply divide what you earn in a year by 2,000 to arrive at that figure. To arrive at that figure. So just try to look at the picture of your life in the context of time. Imagine what you are worth per hour, multiply what you are worth per hour, multiply by the number of hours wasted on different things. Out of the 8,760 is remaining 1,095. Multiply, calculate what you are worth per hour. Multiply by that number of hours wasted. In as much as some of those things are necessary, this is just to point us to the fact that we really don't have all the time we need. So you really cannot afford to waste time. This shows that you are losing so much in a year on frivolities. On frivolities. To know how much you are worth a year, divide your annual salary by 2,000. We discussed that earlier. Then use that to calculate how much you are losing every year to useless things that add no value to you. So this is a wake-up call for you to take back your life and begin to live intentionally. How do you take back your life? Reduce the time you spend sleeping. If you have been spending 8 hours, maybe you can reduce to 5 or 6 hours. Reduce the time you spend sleeping. Begin to work towards working in your area of purpose and calling. Critical analysis of your time to know exactly what is taking away your time. What is taking away your time? Add value to yourself by listening to something, learning something while you are commuting, while you are eating, even when you are in the convenience. Just learning, just try to do 2-3 things together to maximize the time. Using the time on social media to add value to the area of your calling. You need to do everything that is possible to take back your life. You need to do everything that is possible to take back your life. What should you be doing with your time to maximize your stay on the earth? I've said it severally. Discover yourself, to know your area of calling. Develop yourself by doing self-education in your area of calling. Deploy yourself to produce a product or service to bless your world. Use your life to bless humanity. Be fruitful through service, through giving, through loving. Use your life to be a blessing. Take responsibility for resolving the issue of your life. Take responsibility. Take responsibility. You know, there are many people who are time wasters and consequently waste your time and their time because they do not have a good understanding of the essence and value of life. Before I started today, I made a statement. I want to repeat that statement to help some of us that came a bit late. That as human beings, we have limited time on the earth. Because human needs are insatiable, economics says there must be a scale of preference. You don't have all the time in this world. You have seen what is taking away your time. So you really cannot afford. You really cannot afford. You really and truly cannot afford to waste your time. You must prioritize. Prioritize. So that means you must identify what is more important to you and use your time for it. So you can't waste time just doing things that are irrelevant. Ladies and gentlemen, you need a scale of preference. Ladies and gentlemen, you need a scale of preference. Ladies and gentlemen, you need a scale of preference. If you don't have a scale of preference, like I illustrated when we started, you'll be like a woman who has a list that will cost her 25,000 naira, but in her possession is just about 10,000 naira, and she's going to the market. Her resources is not as much as how much she wants to buy. If she does not prioritize, she will buy things that are not very important at the expense of the ones that are more important. You don't have all the time in the world. So you don't have time for everything. You must have time for things that are most important. The thing that should be most important in your life should be things that is directly or indirectly related to why you are here. This is why discovering yourself is so important and crucial in this life. So that you don't spend your time just wasting and whiling away on job, sleeping, eating, whining, and dining, only to discover that the reason for your creation, you never fulfill it. You never fulfill it. You must have a scale of preference. All of your life, people, places, and events. You need to allow people to qualify to have a space in your life. They shouldn't come and waste your time and waste your life. You should also be mindful of places you go, the events you attend. The people must qualify for your money you are spending to go there and for the time you are spending to go there. They must qualify. Else, you will go to every event, every program at the expense of the reason for your existence. The picture of your life in the context of time. God bless every human being with the wealth of time. So everyone has 24 hours a day, and that amounts to 8,760 hours a year. Question to you today is, how have you utilized this time? How have you utilized this time? Remember, in a year, you have 8,760 hours. If you spend 1/3 sleeping, that is 2,920 hours. If you spend 1/3 every day going to work or going to school, that is another 2,920 hours. What you have left is another 2,920 hours. Out of the remaining time when you are awake and not sleeping, when you are not at work, you spend about 365 hours just getting ready to go out. 365 hours eating, 20 minutes for every meal for 3 times a day. 365 hours socializing on TV, on social media. 365 hours on religious activity, and 365 hours on transport every year. And like I said, you and I know that some of those figures are very, very conservative. So the time you really have left is so small. That's why you can't afford to waste your life. That's why you can't afford to waste your time. This is the reason why we are not productive. This is the reason why we are not able to do much with our lives. Because we are not conscious of those little time, maximizing those time and putting them to productive use. Putting them to productive use. Putting them to productive use. You must learn to take your life back. You must learn to take your life back. You must first be conscious of the fact that something is taking away your time. And then make conscious effort to repossess your life. Remember, time is the greatest wealth that you possess as human being on the earth. It is very important to remember that time is the material from which everything in life is created. So if you are not maximizing your time, by deploying it into what is most important to you, you are going to waste those raw materials. Remember the illustration I did some time ago, pouring water into a cup. That your life is like water in a bottle. Every day you are pouring it out. Every day you are pouring it out. Some days you pour it out and waste it. Some days you pour it out and generate some results, and generate some results, and generate some results. But sometimes you pour it out and it's wasted, completely wasted. Either you use it or you don't use it, the time is going anyway. If you wake up, do nothing from morning till night, the time will go. If you wake up, be engaged, doing something of value from morning till night, the time will still go. So either you use that time or you don't use that time, the time is going anyway. It's wiser to use the time. It's wiser to use the time. It's wiser to use the time and invest the time heavily in things that are important to you. Everything you see is made out of people. It's not made out of people, but made out of the product of time. The key to maximizing time is through the instrument of conversion. Remember, the instrument of conversion of time is work. The instrument of conversion of time is work. The instrument of conversion of time is work. A man who fights for every minute of his day is one of the freest men on the earth. A man who is in charge of every minute of his day is one of the freest men on the earth. To distinguish the wise from the foolish, check the way they fight to maximize their time. The wise is very mindful of the little time he has and strive not to waste it because he knows that he could have converted them to value. The foolish wastes the time, does not fight to ensure he's in charge of his time and maximize it by converting it through work to value. The question then is, why is a man that is able to fight for every minute of his life free? He's free because he's in control of his life. If you are in control of your time, you are in control of your life. That is freedom. If you are in control of your time, you are in control of your life. That is freedom. If you are not in control of your life, your time, you are not in control of your life, that is slavery. Many people are mortgaging their time every day in a place they go to call job. The job is supposed to be to help them achieve their purpose on the earth, but the only thing the job is doing is to earn a living. That's the problem. Because the job could be contributing to the development of their self towards achievement of their calling. But for some, it's to pay bills. To pay bills. Just to pay bills. If you are working on a job that is at variance with your area of calling, then you are just mortgaging your life for a penny. A man that fights for every minute of his life is taking back his life from telephone calls, is taking back his life from social media, is taking back his life from movies and football, is taking back his life from gisting and chatting, is taking back his life from frivolities. He's taking back his life from everything that distracts and trivializes his life because he fights for every minute of his time. Many people think they are in charge of their life, but they are not because their life is under the power of everything but themselves. Some is their family. Their siblings control their life, even though they are married. Their parents control their life, even though they are married. Some is friends. Some is addiction. Some of the greatest time waster in life is trying to be nice to everybody because you don't want to offend them. They have not learned to say no. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the most powerful things you can learn as human being and teach your child and teach yourself is the power to say no. Yes, it's easy. Yes, it's easy. The power to say no. The power to say no. Particularly to people who want to waste your time. The power to say no. Always remember, that your life does not belong to you, but rather it belongs to the person that controls your life. Your life does not belong to you. It belongs to whatever controls your life, is in charge of your life. Whoever control your life, control your time, control your life. And therefore control you. So, for some, their job control their life. For some, their pastor control their life. For some, their church control their life. For some, their children control their life. For some, their parents control their life. For some, worries control their life. For some, problem control their life. They are not in charge. They are not in charge. Whoever own your time, own your life. Whoever own your time, own your life. Whoever own your time, own your life. Some people think because they go to church, then God is the one controlling their life, but that's not true. Because they are not able to produce any fruit from that religiosity. They are unable to produce any fruit from that religiosity. Religiosity makes no sense when there is no fruitfulness. In fact, when you say you are in a religion without any fruitfulness, that is, when you say you are a Christian and there is no fruitfulness, that is religion. Religion starts where fruitfulness stops. 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 Religion starts where productivity stops. Religion starts where you being a salt stop. Religion starts where you being a light in the world stop. Religion starts when you being able to use your life and your work to glorify God stop. Religion starts when productivity stops. Religiosity makes no sense without fruitfulness. Without fruitfulness, it's useless. It's useless. So many are in a religion, no value being shown. No value being shown. Nothing to show for years of going to church. You have the Holy Spirit within you, and you can't be a solution provider at work. That is religiosity. You have the Holy Spirit within you, and you have never provided solution to any problem at work. That is religiosity. They should be asking you for answers. They should be asking you for direction. They should be asking you for solution if that religiosity makes sense. You are only free and wise when you are in charge of your life and you are in control of what you do with your time. The man that fights for every minute of his day is one of the freest men on the earth. He's one of the freest men on the earth. And it's one of the wisest men on the earth. The man that fights for every minute of his day. The man that fights for every minute of his day. This is because his life, his time, is not under bondage of other people's time and activities. True freedom is when you are able to plan your every minute, every hour in a way that is used to create value in yourself or create value in the life of others. You are able to plan every minute, every hour to either create value in yourself or create value in the life of others. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't go to church blindly or religiously. So you don't waste your time just because of church attendance without added value. Where there is no vision, the people don't perish again, or they change parish. They change parish. If the parish is not creating value for them. They change parish so they can have result to show for the investment of their time. Because the goal of going to church actually is to go and learn, so you can fulfill your calling and purpose. He gave some apostles, evangelists, pastors, and teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edification of the church, for the work of the ministry, for the maturing of the saints, for the work of the ministry, to develop the saints to be able to fulfill their calling. You know, the scripture says, so teach us to number our days, that we may apply our life, that we may apply our hearts to wisdom. So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our heart to wisdom. So teach us to be wise by being mindful of the minute and hour of our days, of our life, and be able to convert them to added value. All of you, please, I beg you, make up your mind to begin to take control of your life, of your time. You can actually become the best in almost everything you want to do if you can only convert the time. You can only spend the time. One of the greatest gifts that you could give yourself in life is the gift of loneliness. Being alone sometimes, maybe in the night, in order to develop yourself, find time to add value to yourself, find time to be alone through self-education. The ignorance of mankind is what is making people to waste their time, because when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse of such things is inevitable. When the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse of the purpose of such a thing is inevitable. When the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse of such a thing is inevitable. The reason why people waste time is because they do not see time as money. They do not understand the purpose of time. They do not appreciate the value of time. You know what? They waste that time. They waste that time. When the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. You trivialize time because you don't know time is money. Because time can be used to convert to money. That's why you trivialize time. That's why you trivialize time. If time is money to you, you won't waste it. That's why I said, divide your annual salary by 2,000 to determine how much you are worth per hour, and then use that to calculate your time every day. So when you are wasting 3-4 hours on movie, you know how much you have lost, because that's what you are worth based on what you are being paid. The day you begin to see time as wealth, the day you begin to see time as wealth, you will begin to maximize your time. You begin to conserve your time. You begin to manage your time. The more control you have over your time, the more you can channel it into what you want to use it for in fulfilling your calling, until you become the owner of your life, ladies and gentlemen. You will not be able to make anything good out of it. Until you become the owner of your time, you will not be able to make anything good out of it. Until you are in charge of your time, you will not be able to make anything good out of it. This explains the reason why your job is not allowing you to have time for your life. This explains the reason why your job is not allowing you to have time for your life. Are you a time waster or a time killer? Do you while away time through social media and television, through movie? The fact that we use phone has make it very easy to waste time in Africa. You know, this week I was talking to my colleague. I was telling her that, look, maybe we are going to begin to stop the use of phone in this office. Because I realize I can say, okay, quickly go and do this thing for me. If I were to do that thing, I would be through in 15 minutes. In 1 hour, he will be telling me, is he doing it? I'll be wondering that, wait, is this skill gap or what? This thing, I will finish it in 15 minutes. Why is it 1 hour you are still saying you are working on it? Working on what? But you know what? When you are doing anything and you are distracted by your phone, it takes about, I think, is it about 7 minutes or thereabout to refocus to where you used to be when you got that distraction. So for every distraction, it reduces your productivity. Because your brain is already firing at a level of thinking, of comprehension, of transmitting information to be able to complete that task, but you got distracted. Maybe the brain is firing at about 70%. By distraction, you bring it down to about 3, 4, 5, 10%. When you finish that distraction, you come back to that work, you need to continue, you need to work again to get to that level where you were before. That is killing our productivity. That's why in some developed world, when you enter work, your phone is off, your phone is not with you until you are on break. After the break, your phone is off, your phone is not with you until you close. Why? Phone has become instrument killing the productivity of Africans. And because we are not paid per hour, most of us, we are paid ogata. Even if you come late, you don't finish the job, after all, you will be paid salary. So people don't take the hour very seriously. You know, if you travel to the developed world, sometimes for those of us that have traveled frequently, you will see people running at the bus stop, running to catch the train. You know why they are running? If they miss that train, it might take them 1 hour they might become late for 1 hour because when next train will come. So they run like madman to catch up with the time of the train. The train is coming 7:15. That train will take about 30 minutes to get to work. From where last train bus stop and train station, he needs 15 minutes to get into his office. If he meets that 7:15, the next one is coming by 7:30 or 7:40. He will need 30 minutes to be in that train. He will be late for 1 hour. If they are paying him £500 a day, he has lost £500 that day. He will take his time seriously. Why? Because he's paid per hour. When he gets to work, he clocks in. When he's going out, he clocks out. And that is what determines his payment at the end of the month. No wonder their productivity is off the roof. Check out their per capita income. Check out their per capita GDP. A lot higher than Africans. Why? Because we are distracted on the job. The fact that we use phone has made it very easy to waste time in Africa because they will call you and waste your time with gist. You know, since 2010, my phone has been on silence. If my phone rings, it's an alarm. It's not a phone call. So if I want to work, if you call, I won't see it. When I'm done, I will return the call if it's important. When I'm done, I will return the call. It's important. You know why? Too much distraction, ladies and gentlemen. Too much distraction. Too much distraction from our phones. So I decided to put my phone on silence permanently. Permanently. Why? Just to be able to focus. And I'm so used to it now that it even irritates me for the phone to ring. Because, 10 years is a long time for a phone to be on. And I've used about 3, 4 phones within that period. And they are all on silence. Some people don't even use phone at all. And some of these people are multi-millionaires in dollars. They don't use phone at all. Their secretary, if they don't want to call them, you call their secretary number, they take the call, if necessary. Why? Just to ensure their focus. Just to ensure their focus. There are people that want to call or come and see you just to gist. You know, someone called me this week. I was busy, I didn't pick. He now sent a text. He said, I'm just saying hi to people on my phone. I just laughed. You are saying hi to people on your I'm telling you. He said, I'm just saying hi to people on my phone. He said, good afternoon, my brother. I just want to say hi to everyone in my contact today. Remain blessed. I just read the text to you when I didn't pick the call. Just want to say hi to everybody on your contact. Interesting. Interesting. There are people that want to call or come and see you, and we say, I will say, send a mail. They want to come and see me. They are calling to come and see me. And I will say, send a mail first, so we can initiate the conversation. But some of them feel offended. Let's initiate the conversation and discuss first now. Someone said, is it a bad idea? What if he's doing that for the sake of mental health? That's good. Kemi, I agree with you. It depends on his objective. It's a good idea for him. I'm not sure it's a good idea for me. But it's entitled to his opinion. So I don't have any issue with it. I'm only saying that people call sometimes for all sorts of reasons. But I agree with you. He might just want to talk to someone. And I agree with you 100%. There are people that want to call just to say hi. And I think you can just do a WhatsApp message to do that. You know, at some point, I noticed that I spend a lot of time at work discussing in meetings. And from this meeting, I discovered that most of those conversations could have been done via email and other means without a physical meeting that takes so much time because of other irrelevant discussions. Because I now evaluate and discover a lot of those conversations are very unproductive. You have to take charge of your time and your life, ladies and gentlemen. You need to make up your mind to avoid unnecessary phone call in order to salvage your time and in order to protect yourself from time wasters. Ladies and gentlemen, now that you have known this thing, happy and blessed are you if you do them. All right, thank you very much for being able to make it today. I can see a lot of people with us today. I would like to hear from you. What have you learned tonight? What are your concerns and what are your questions? Demola, you are first on my list. Can you go ahead, please? Hello, Demola.
Yeah, hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Hello, Demola. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me, sir? Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah. Actually, I'm very early today because of the topic anyway. Which,
I noticed you were waiting for me to log in.
That is it. I'm waiting because of, in fact, the content actually made me to say, oh, I won't miss this class today. Anyway, you know, like someone like me, I'm more or less an introvert, but I discovered something about me. Most of the time when I didn't talk or I didn't act or I didn't do, maybe I'm overworked, I always get aggressive or something that is not even worth it. Maybe I've spent a lot of time being alone or doing something. So maybe anytime someone just offend me unnecessarily, what I didn't supposed to get angry on. It's not like I turn into fight, but I just discovered that I used to be aggressive on that or I take it off. Now, this is what I do instead of that. So I have some friends like that. After spending much time, maybe at work, now I now discover that okay,
Hello? We can't hear you again.
I need to be exercising. Okay, maybe you take it to that place without hearing me. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Now, so maybe I just decide, okay, instead of that, let me just go and take, maybe we should just go and play football, or I just exercise. But I just see that that act is an act of I'm relaxing myself. In fact, anytime I do that, I always feel like okay, I'm not, I'm free, I'm very free. Do you understand? So in that act, I wish I believe there's so many people like that that they just take it as okay, let me just do let me just. Is there an act of wasting time? That is the question.
Sorry, I didn't get that. What were you doing with the time? It wasn't very clear.
You know, most of the case, most of the time I work in the office. I always work alone anyway. I didn't have friends. Like I'm the type of person that doesn't have friends. So I didn't go out. I didn't party as well. So I didn't associate with people. I always do things on my own, stay at home in the office. So, but in most cases, I always get aggressive or something. But some people are not able to do something right. So anytime I'm aggressive on that thing, I discover that it's the act of maybe because they have overworked anyway. So in that case, I always take like a day or 2 days to just say like, okay, let me just use this day to play football, or let me use this day to associate myself.
Okay, I think I get your question. So you
Or
think
just food. Now, in that case, is there an act of wasting time? That is the
now,
question.
so you take some times off to be able to, you say you get aggressive when you're overworked. So in
Yes,
taking time
that's
off,
the
what do you do at those times? You know, I can take time off and I can just lie down and listen to stuff instead of actively working on something. I can take time off and read something. As in, the idea basically is that when you take time off, what do you do at that time? What do you do at that time?
okay.
If you are just gisting, I feel at that time you can still take time off. You're not actively working, but you can be listening to something that build you up, that help you to learn, that help you to grow. You are not
Okay.
actively working, but you are still engaging in development of yourself. Or you can discuss with people, if you have mentees or people that you counsel, to talk to them. Just ensure that that time is being maximized, not just while away. That's what I'm trying to say. Not just while away in something you can't really show for it. You need to take some time off, but in taking that time off, what exactly are you doing at that time? That's the way I would try to address that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Ayomide Oluwasegun, are you there? Ayomide, are you there this night, this evening?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes. What have you learned tonight?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I've actually learned a lot, like
Tell me.
the picture of our life in context of time. Yeah, I learned that we don't have audio time. That's one of the key things I grabbed. That we don't have audio time, and anything we have to do, should do it on time, should be in charge, and you should be able to show for it that okay, what I this is the result of use of my time. So I learned that we don't have the audio time, and also from the verse is said, so teach us the number of days so we may apply our heart to wisdom. I've actually been reading that verse, but I got another view of the meaning of it, that we should be wise. We should be able to live a life of value with our days. So that really helped me. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Damaris. Damaris, how are you? Damaris, are you there? Hello, Damaris. Good evening. Okay, Damaris is not ready for us. James, are you there, please? Hello, James. Hello, James.
Good evening, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, good evening, sir. So, I'm happy to be back fully once again. So it's I'm actually excited this night. So this is the first time in about over a year now that I'll participate fully
Hello, James.
in this program. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, so I was actually through my old notes. So we treated a topic like this before, maximizing your calling and career through the currency of time. So,
Hello.
I would like to ask a question for
James, can you drop the question in the chat box? We are struggling to hear you. At least I am struggling to hear you.
Can you hear me?
It's breaking. I don't know if it's from my end or from your end. Okay, let me move to Kemi. Kemi, are you there, please? James, you can drop that question in the chat box. Hello, Kemi, are you there?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening. How is SA this evening? Or this
SA is
night?
fine.
People are already in the night now.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Well done, sir.
Yes.
So thank you for tonight. It's more educative and guilt tripping.
Guilt tripping.
Yes, because we are guilty of some of these things.
Yeah.
Especially the phone part. The phone part is just like, if you are not careful, it becomes an addiction.
Serious one.
And I like the way you analyze the fact that if you are doing something and then you get distracted and then you want to come back, it's like you now have to pick up, you now have to start remembering where did I stop,
Yeah.
and then the energy you were going before, you might not be able to pick up at
From
that
there,
same level.
you have to build up again.
Yes, you have to now build up again
And
before you
time
know
is
it, you
going,
get
and time
tired.
is going. Hello?
Hello, I can hear you now.
I say, and
The
time
line
is
was
going.
and time is going. Yes, you know, I also sometimes I also put my phone away. You can switch off your phone, you can just ignore, but sometimes I find it easier to I'll just say, okay, I'm charging it in the room, let it stay there. And then you notice that the amount of work, even if it's 30 minutes of full concentration, you know that you have done something tangible.
Yeah.
You know, so it's something we would have to look into and make sure that we are not wasting away our time, because time is very precious. I think it's that's the commodity of life.
Yes.
It's something that you cannot even get, you cannot get it back.
Yes.
No. So thank you very much. The reason why I asked that question was that in terms of people's mental health, sometimes, you know, you don't know what someone is going through.
You are going
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't know what someone is going through, and they just feel like maybe you are the right person to talk to or ask for counseling. And it might be that time that you choose not to talk to them. Or I just feel that God will lead us right.
For me, if the person drop a message, I will call back.
Exactly.
If drop a message, and I know it's important, I will call back.
Yes. I think people need to learn how to initiate a conversation. You don't just eye somebody and you expect somebody to start striking out a conversation based on hello,
Yes.
how are you? So if it's something serious or important, if the person had written it, you know that, oh, I have to talk to this person, or I have to pick this call, or I have to call the person back. Yeah. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. David Kalu, Happy New Year. Long time. This one, you remember us today. What have you learned tonight?
Hello, good evening, sir.
How now?
Fine, sir.
Now for you.
So we just ran for break. We just for
all business.
So it's not business. So we went to find some of the things I've taught us.
Okay, thank you. I like that.
So we are back again to learn more.
So what have you learned tonight?
Well, sir, actually, for me, I like okay. I have one question actually. Then what I learned, you said about the more you value time, the more weight you acquire. That one touched me. Like, I don't know. For me, I think it's just for me to discover where I waste my time more, or what I waste my time more on. And I think as at last year, I found out that most of the place I waste my time is just on my phone. That phone is a problem. So I guess as at that time, we share something on how we can handle some of those stuff. We talk about how you can like up the navigation of your maybe Instagram, WhatsApp, stuff like that. I know that you're always putting in problems. So I did that as at last year, and I think for a very long time now, all those social media is not my problem. I may not go online for like a month, maybe let me say for Facebook, where I just chat with friends, and I don't feel it. So I think I've worked on that. Another place again, when you are talking about some things, I guess I need to work on many things. So, but sir, the question I have is this: you said true freedom is the ability to plan your time to create value for yourself and others,
So
right?
true freedom is the ability to have control over your time.
Okay, ability to have control over your time. Very good. Now the question is this: what of a situation whereby our parents, like someone like me now, I'm like I work in my parent office, for example, and most of my time I spend it in the office, or I spend it in the office, and I have some things I want to do, like maybe my business. I plan, okay, I will do this, I will do that, but most of my time, almost maybe within 24 hours, I spend almost like 14 hours, or maybe let's say 15 hours in their business. What can we do in that kind of thing, or what do you think I should do?
If it's your parent and they are paying your school fees, you don't have a choice because you are not free yet. The day you can fend for yourself, then you are free. So at this point, you really cannot free. So you can't be free when you can't take care of yourself. If you want to be free, then you must be able to take care of yourself, your accommodation, your feeding, your school fees, and everything.
Wow. So no freedom for us.
Until you have what it takes to handle that, then you know what? You are still under the bondage of your parent.
Wow. You are
still under the bondage of your parent.
Wow. Okay. We'll wait till when we have the freedom then.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Samuel. Oladapo Samuel, are you there tonight?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
I really enjoy this training.
So what have you learned?
What I really learned a lot, of what I grab is to really avoid distraction.
Yes.
Distraction. To do away with it. And I was like little minute, as those little minutes that we used to eat, don't need the whole, as the way you calculated the whole thing.
And you see that you're spending 365 hours every year to eat.
I was shocked. So you were saying that there are some things you should be able to do when you are eating. I don't know.
Yes,
I don't know those things.
When I'm eating, I'm always listening to something or reading something, even when I'm eating.
Wow.
Yes, even when I'm eating, listening to. If I'm in the bedroom, something must be playing. I can't. If I'm in the bedroom, either I'm doing major or I'm buffing, something must be playing.
Hmm.
You know, so if I'm driving, something must be playing. I must either passively or actively learning something. It's just so critical. Because I realize those little time, there's so much can be done within that period. So much. Much more than you can ever imagine.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. Olayinka Godwin. Are you there tonight? Olayinka. Hello, Olayinka. Are you there tonight?
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
More good to have you, sir. I really enjoy a lot. But last week, I missed it. I was not able to love it. I mean, to get connected.
The line is bad. We can't hear you very well.
Hello? Hello, sir.
Hello?
Can you hear me now, sir?
Maybe you can drop your comment in the chat box. It's not very clear at all. Damaris, are you available for us now? Hello, Damaris. Hello, Damaris. Okay, Damaris is not. Sheung Adewale, are you there tonight?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Thank you very much for the class. I really appreciate a lot of things I've gained. Number one, I've gained that I should be focused.
Yes.
And then a lot of people who are at the top, they are so focused that they avoid distractions.
Yes.
For instance, you can't call a governor, it's the governor that will usually call you. You can't call a general overseer, it's the general overseer that will call you. One may not be able to call the president. It's the president that may call you when they need you. So I discovered in life that I need to make myself relevant by pushing myself upper, so that I can have better control of time.
Yes.
And I also discovered that a lot of things can be avoided. Like the issue of watching TV. I know of Cosmas Maduka that said, a billionaire that said he does not have a TV in his house. Yes. He said he does not have a TV in his house, and he's a billionaire. So I discovered in life that I need to reorganize, re-energize, strategize my time and see how I can be more productive with time.
Yes. Yes.
Then I also discovered that some of your principles, like putting phones on silent, then sending emails to people that one want to work with. For instance, I work in the production industry. There are some people that if you call them and you give them instructions, they will do contrary things. So you need to call them, monitor them, teach them like a baby. This is what you have to do. This have to do this. And sometimes, so it becomes really a problem. So those in the production industry, to ensure quality and ensure that things will have to be done as expected, one needs to have like close monitoring to ensure that people don't do otherwise, other than just sending mails and then giving instructions. So I've really gained a lot, but the bottom line is focus.
Yes. Yes.
It's for me to be focused. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it, sir.
Thanks so much for coming. Hello, Yemi. Are you there tonight? Hello, Yemi. Are you there tonight? Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Happy New Year. I want to hear from you.
It's been a long time.
I want to hear from you last week. You were busy.
Yeah, don't mind me. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
For me, the distraction. Hello?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, distraction is very key, especially with the use of phone.
Yes.
My phone has been on silent for like 10 years now.
Interesting.
Permanent silent. Some people do abuse me. Even a lot of people have said that you are proud. We'll call you. I said, don't I return the call? Maybe hours later. I said, that's when I have time now. So what are you doing? Are you even the rich? They pick up their calls. I said, that's how I want to run it. That's how I want to run my life. Actually, the many. Sometimes I even turn it. I turn it down. I don't even want to see what is there.
Yeah, no,
you know that maybe one WhatsApp message. A lot of groups that don't even make sense. I'm trying to. If I'm going to exit myself from some of the groups, you just wake up. You are seeing 500 messages and going through them makes no sense. You understand? Not adding any value. In fact, I'm going to reevaluate the number of the groups that I belong to.
Yeah. No, yes. Yeah.
You know, sometimes when I'm at work and I'm posting an email, want to send an email, and I just receive a call, I'll get distracted. And by the time I come back, I've even forgotten that I was trying to send an email. Very important email. I'll just forget it. I'm telling you. So I try as much as possible, especially when I'm at work, just put my phone at one side. Anytime anybody that, if I see any missed call, if I want to call the person back, I call back. And you know, something that you said tonight that is true, but it's scary. That I said, how now? And I counted it. How can I spend 1/3 of my? That means I've spent how many years now to sleep?
But that's the reality.
Yeah, that's the reality. So I really need to make a conscious effort to maximize my time. I think one of the things I need to do is say, okay, tomorrow, so what are you going to do? You're going to church, how many hours? So I time myself.
Yeah.
By time, I time myself that no, this by this time, this is what I should be doing. I shouldn't be doing this. I think that's going to help me. Then you said something about scale of preference. It's really key.
Yeah.
Everywhere. I can't attend to everybody.
Yeah.
I'll just pick what is important to me and ride with it. You know.
Yeah.
So you said invest your time in what is most important to you.
Exactly.
Very, very key for me. Yeah, that is key for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. Oladapo said, how many hours should one sleep? I said it, and I said maybe like 5 to 6 hours. So you can reduce the 8 hours of sleep, maybe 5 to 6 hours. I still sleep averagely from 11 to 4. Most of the time, 10 to 4, 11 to 4. So by 4 past 4, I'm awake already, trying to maximize early hour of the day. James, please, what's the question? I want to hear that your question. Can you say the question now?
Okay, yeah. So let me just jump right into the question. So my question is, you told us something like, we have not been working for 16 hours in a day.
We can't hear you again.
You have not. I've been trying to. Sir, can you hear very well now?
I can hear you now.
Hear me? Okay, so I just want to ask, like, how do you work 16 hours in a day? You mentioned that when we had
how do you work 15 hours in a day? If you spend 4 hours sleeping, you still have 20 hours.
Discussion.
Out of the 20 hours, you can sit up to 14, 15 hours to work, while you have about 4 hours for other things. You say, how does that happen? I've just calculated it for you now. Hello, can you hear me?
16 a day. Yes, I can hear you. I said 16 hours in a 16 hours. How do you work 16 hours a day?
Sleep for 4 hours, work for 16 hours, and the remaining 4 hours to do other things that you think are important for you.
Oh. Okay, sir. Nighttime. How do you leverage nighttime? Or when if you are someone that doesn't like working in the night, how do you leverage that?
Oh, why would you not like working in the night? If you sleep, you just sleep early so you can wake up early
How
now.
do you manage?
If you want to maximize night, sleep early, sleep around 9, 10, so you can wake up early and be able to maximize the early hours of the morning.
Okay,
Yes.
that's awesome. Okay.
Someone is asking a question. Good evening. I really enjoyed the meeting from when I joined. The main question, how can I reduce the time I spend with customers? Because I move to attend to them, but most of them are wonderful. I don't understand what Linka is trying to say. How do you spend time you spend with customers? What are you doing with the customer? Are you selling to them? If it's your business and you're selling to them, you're creating value. Now you're already on the job. So is it that you don't want to spend time for your customer? If that's what you're hired to do, you have to do it. If it's your own business, you have to do it because that's your business. That's your job. So if you need to sell to them, you need to spend time to them. You need to talk to them to convince them to buy. So I'm trying to understand your question, Yinka, but I really cannot understand. I hope I've been able to address it one way or the other. Faith, you came late tonight. You go and get the recorded version. Robert Gabriel, you get the recorded version. I will drop it on the group as usual, maybe later tonight or tomorrow. Faith, are you there? Can I hear you? What happened tonight? Why did you come late?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you?
Fine, thank
You forgot.
Actually,
It's been another interesting session. We'll still continue discussing the issue of time next week. You know, I told you we'll do time till the end of March. We'll discuss time next week and we'll be focusing on taking our life back from time wasters. That will be the focus next week. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a very good evening. Thank you very much for coming. Bye-bye. Good night.